Zenzi, I just discovered how the men go around and convert our youth. I met a homeless man today. And so I'm walking past last night when I had so much fun. I helped a German family figure out where to stay. And had a little conversation. The guy told me about the last person he met who was saying, this is not a chance, it's not a chance. I'm like, no, this is synchronicity. You pulled in, asked the right person who's also German heritage. Although I'm actually Dutch, Germano-Dutch, so who knows. Except that there's portraiture evidence in the Reich Museum. 1642, my doppelganger. Who never got, well, who I don't have any further evidence than one portrait, but I don't think they ever got this going on at 53 1/3. Alright, so saw him last night, real smile, real, I don't know how to say the word, beatific guy, just sort of, good energy, right? So much about energy. There's just, the word good doesn't quite, you're not going to get what I, and so see him again this morning, and so we start to talk, and real quick conversation. I get out the car, so Zanzi's not barking, she keeps barking, I need to move away. There's a bench right there. Shall I show you? Alright. Cinematographer in my future? Not. I just learned about sea kayaking and ocean fishing. For the observational. Now this is in my tool bag. It's really great. This guy sat on the ocean side, where the breeze was, not the ocean side necessarily, we're parallel, but and I could smell him. He smoked. And I said, okay, switch places with me because I can smell you smoke. And we did. He's like, I smoke a lot. I said, well, this is why I'm homeless, is my sensitivity to smoke, and smoking the chemicals and blah, 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 blah. And I forgot I did it. I do things atemporarily. I got to the denouement too quickly. We'll finish the story in a minute. So as we started to talk, the thing was, he's been homeless for 8 years, and he wanted to teach me about all the resources. And it gets easier, he said 3 times. And so, and this is, I was like, he's a big walker, because I was way out at the going south coast. Now I'm in the Bay. I don't get any numbers to that. And a new place. This is a new place. There's a lot more possibility for interaction than where I typically go. Although I'm hogging a spot from a tourist. See, I'm always, well, am I doing something? Am I doing any harm? Is there a better place for me just to not be? And it's why I'm invisible, and it's why I'm so successful. I don't meet people and get change, but as far as trouble, I'm not the trouble woman. And you got to hear me sing last night, Trouble Man, Marvin Gaye. It's been well over a year since I recorded it. It was very interesting. I actually sang really well. Then I took a sip of water, and I forgot what I learned about the need for a number of minutes. And I started off pretty bad, and then I'm like, who knows if I'm going to ever share this. But ultimately, there were good bits and bad bits. It's practice. And there is definitely something, always great information. That audio recording takes me to, because it is, I'm all, I got to fix the posture, and there's just something about the organization of my mouth that's we're working on. Shoot his lips. I'm constant, like I'm literally there's For me, it's this right here. So you see this cheekbone? There's some lymph and it doesn't move, and some frozen muscles and some various things. So I'm doing a lot. I mean, it was right. It was up here. There's that couldn't do that. But see, let's see what. It like scrunches my eyes, or maybe the sunlight is scrunching my eyes. But no, I do scrunch my eyes when there's lack of practice, because I didn't talk to people when I was a child. Didn't have the social engagement. I never advanced from using ingestion to establish my nervous system to social engagement, which is supposed to happen during the first year for mammals. I mean, humans. This is 100% true of all mammals, that you live birth, you use ingestion. If you're getting fed, if your mom's there, if you're somehow, and of course, the length of time that you need that mom feeding that it varies significantly. R9. So 9 months. So that was, for some reason, that came in, and not the pregnancy itself, but it's probably somewhere around 9 months is when you're going to switch from using ingestion to social cues. So there's somewhere there, and that makes sense. It would be the opposite way. How long it took to get out the womb, and then it's a because it's usually is the science that I read from. It was heart rate variability study on sheep. It's that it's basically a year, somewhere in now. So now that reference, when I did a little bit more, that by a year you should be using social cues, and it's probably some associated with the polyvagal. It's triangulated with polyvagal theory. All right, so this guy, he's a teacher archetype. It's so cool. He met my sort of teacher. And here's what happened. So we switched sides as you got the whole thing. So I don't smell his smoke, and I'm explaining I'm homeless. This is precisely what I said. It's why I'm homeless. Smoke, because it's associated with the chemicals. And he's like, you won't smell it out here. And I'm like, oh no, I truly do. People walk by and the ocean air brings it in, and he's like, you have to be less sensitive. I said, no, I don't. or so, and not with right now. I'm just I was really sincerely trying to have a conversation, and not about my sensitivities. Move on, and not about I didn't need to know what. I'm obviously a grown adult. If I needed services in PG, I'd find them. Why does everyone feel like them telling me what to do is in any way helpful? It's a bizarre convention. So many ways. So I said, no, I don't want to change. And he just was like, Now I'm finding it hard to get that quote because I've had to really process it out of my system, because it angered me intellectually in the survival of our species level. Boy, this is wrong. The world won't change for you. Or something to that effect. I'm sorry, it's actually literally gone. I cleared it, so I felt the emotions really adequately and not anywhere. I mean, because what happened is Eddie disappeared. I mean, whatever he said that which was clear. I mean, he said it and he was goners. And I had crossed my leg and I was just sort of massaging my knee. So I just kept doing it for a few minutes, right? So that's, again, processing the trauma. I was just massaging my knee for just a few more minutes. And, literally disappeared. Then I turned around just to see where he went, to make sure I mean, he was really offended that I would have the audacity to think that speaking out about my sensitivities as a superpower was my right, if not my obligation. So I've learned something about, there's not very many people, but there have been the occasional people who just literally they just literally disappear from me. I say something of which I think, no charge. I'm flabbergasted what I possibly could have ran into. But it's, in this case, I went through it, and it's sort of like this guy's 8 years of homelessness become meaningful to him because he's a teacher of this flock of the homeless people he encounters here. And the second when, and this is autonomic for him. The second when he realized he'd need to learn from me, there went the male ego. But this teacher thing, the approach and the sort of wanting to indoctrinate me and getting really upset that I sort of was like, I'm gonna fix this. So that was the start of the conversation. He's like, oh no, I'm gonna fix her. She's the problem. As our individuals are the problem, she got to toughen up, put on her big girl pants, and stop reacting to carbon monoxide. It's carbon fucking monoxide. It's deadly. The fact that my body and I have successfully communicated that that's what's causing my redheaded She-Hulkness. It's a scientific reaction as exists. And as philosophical mind as exists on this planet at this particular moment, I guarantee you, the efforting with which I've had to do to keep my mind free, I am proud. This week, there's not a conundrum of quantum physics that I can't give a symposium on. Holla. Harmony.